Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon replay cast. And today is another Reddit 3 vs 3 tourney game, and it is between the Narwhals versus Team ANZ. So down on the bottom, we have the Narwhals, or rather on the left side, whichever way you want to see it. The left side here, Red 4 team is the Narwhals with Phrasen Monster, Saberwolf, and Galir. And down on the other side of the map, we have Team ANZ with ANZ Cheer Up, Nandamoni, and ANZ Faust. And Faust is the highest ranked player in the game, and not by much. I actually just checked the leaderboards. I think he's only the highest ranked by about 30 points. Somebody is catching up pretty quickly there, and we're going to go ahead and speed this on up. This is going to be a pretty quick game, and I did cast another game. It was a user-submitted game. It was a ranked game, but it was a very, very low-level ranked game. And it was a pretty quick one, too. So I think I'm just going to, go ahead and cast two, upload two once again, as they're pretty short games. So be prepared for two of them. One of them being this game, a Reddit 3 vs 3. One of them just a simple ranked game that was a user-submitted. And I will speed this up just a little bit more until all of these units come on out in the game here. And screw it, we'll just go to 10x. And there we go. Everything's all good to go now. And ANZ Faust, as usual, taking the center of the map. It usually does that anyway. And now moving over to the left, or to the right side, Cheer Up with some Celtics here. And lots of troops, again, to take this territory here on this map. Very, very important to take this town line right here, as you have the line of sight advantage. Red 4 player bringing tons of troops here, trying to bring them up onto the town line as well. In the center, lots of ground troops here against all of this air power here. Longbow moving in, and some DAPs as well. Chinooks dropping off some recon troops. And now the troops incoming from behind here. M1A2 Abrams following from behind here. And a Bradley CV as well. On the left side, we have lots of Shikis moving into the left side here. Recons. Mistral for some anti-air and some recon as well. And now for our Red 4 player, Tunguska in the back, some armor here as well, some BTR 80s with troops, BRDM 3 recon, and the MI2 already chilling overhead on the mountain way here. And BRDM starting to fire away here. And DAPs have been flying all the way around here, looking for some trouble. And the battle begins. BRDM firing away at the Blackhawk and the Chinooks here. And already dropped off the Rangers. SMOs have been dropped off along the road here. Looks like the Humvee was destroyed. BTR 90s being taken out. Longbows firing away here. And the battle of troops has begun over here as well. Jaegers trying to push forward. Spetsnaz and Hyundai just piled all over the place. This is a big battle here. Canonian Jagdpanthers being brought up to the top of the line there to fire as well. But the longbow here being struck and all out of missiles there. And took out quite a bit in the meantime, though. Loses that longbow now. And SMA is now moving up the way there. Abrams in the back. And all these troops here, just a mass of troops. Panther Grenadiers in the back here. All those Canonian Jagdpanthers were destroyed. Hyundai and Spetsnaz holding up pretty well here. Spetsnaz bound to fall, and the Jaegers will hold this area here. And now I've moved up a little bit into even more territory here. Jaegers pushing forward into the Motorstrelki back here, and BTR 80As pushing around the other side here. Jaegers taking the fire from that, but there's some Martyrs all the way in the back here, and finishes those off. And meanwhile, on the left side here, Gewehrmen all chilling out here in the open. They tried to make it to the town line, got taken out there. T-72Bs. And Shikis in the back firing away at the Motorstrelki in the town, trying to push in here. +4 advantage so far for our blue team, Team ANZ. And still trying to push into the town line here. Looks like the Red 4 team pulled it pretty well, but looks like just now starting to lose. The Martyrs firing away at the town. And meanwhile, in the center here, Faust having a little trouble here. Looks like the Red 4 pushed him, has a majority of troops here. And Abrams now pushing forward. And Cheer Up has left the game for some reason, possibly is disconnected in some way or shape or form there. but still a +4 advantage for our blue team. Neither side really brought out those. Didn't really take Echo there, and didn't take Delta as well. So that leaves them with that +4 advantage for the Red 4 team, not taking those 2 spots there. Panzer Grenadiers still holding out here against the MrSotko. Just 3 left here, so should take these out pretty soon, and then we'll be able to push forward and have to deal with the next line of troops, and switches those injured troops out a little bit there. And meanwhile, MiG-25 PD there looking for some radar, but not going to find that. Rangers here holding out in the town line, but the Pagoda's VDV moving in, and not going to last too long there. And Faust actually not holding up too well here in the center by Phrasenmonster. Phrasenmonster has acquired the majority of the territory for now. Chaparral backing off here. M1A2 Abrams backed up all the way to the wood line. And Mi-24V here just blasting away at the Panzer Grenadiers from across the from the height of the mountain there. And back over here, not having an easy time getting into this sector too. And I really think the only reason why the Blue 4 team really, Team A and Z right now is winning so strongly is that Echo and Delta simply doesn't have a CV in it, which allows their team to have that +4 advantage. If they didn't have that +4 advantage, I would say they're not doing all that well right now, or at least an even game. As Faust in the center here really isn't doing all that well either. They're simply just holding on by bare bones. Really just an M1A2 that's holding this together, and a couple of SMOs. But that's not really going to last too long if anything decides to push into those two. So we'll see how that works eventually. Bring up a looks like a Hemet into the line here to repair up that M1A2. And Shiki's here trying to cross the way, and Mi-24 getting blasted away by all 3 of them. And Block 52 and MiG now going at it. And Block destroys that MiG PD. Again, now MrSotko pushing in. Gewehrmen, 36 of them here to hold off this territory, and just 20 MrSotko. And blue team owns the majority of the resources here, 362 out of 500, so winning very, very quickly here. Attack has been called by Phrasenmonster right here in the wood line. Sees that M1A2 Abrams U.S. Marines are trying to make it in there, but got destroyed by that Norov. And 2 Norovs, rather, firing at once, takes them all out. And as long as he holds Foxtrot, I suppose he's doing his job. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be holding that for long. It simply could get bombed out pretty easily there. Still unable to push into this town line here, and holding it very well here for the Red 4 team, but unfortunately just losing the game very, very quickly because they simply just didn't get Echo and Delta. So that's just such a shame that the game has to go down to a +5 now, just because they didn't take those 2 starting areas. Now a +5 advantage for our Blue 4 team. Well, it was a +5 for a moment there. Now back to the +4. Mi-24 here firing away. Doesn't have too much left. Just firing the 12-7s. And Martyrs finished that off there. And VDV now be pushing out from the wood line here, but that Abrams is going to be blasting away. VDV hit the Abrams, does a pretty good chunk of damage there, and may fire again, but now stunned, unfortunately. And finishes off those VDV there, and now just 20 points remaining here needed for the Team ANZ to win this game. Finally brought a CV up to Echo, and that brings him down to +2. And again, Delta here was never taken from the start, and that would have left them with a 0-0. So this game would have been going on much longer if they just hadn't left that +4 advantage to the blue team there. And they're actually doing really well against Team ANZ, which is quite unusual, as Team ANZ is very good. And for the most part, they have the majority of the territory, the Red 4 does. They've even pushed up towards Foxtrot, just now starting to lose that area. But hope you guys enjoyed this replay. The winners, Team ANZ, and simply just didn't take those 2 points there and left a +4 advantage for their blue for their opponents for the majority of the game there. But it was a 3-versus-3 ranked game between ANZ and the Narwhals. But I will see you guys next time.